Hello student, now we are going to continue with the second part of our previous chapter, that is anatomy of flowering plant. In this chapter, as we have discussing about the internal structures of the plant, that is the tissue and their systems. So we will start with a permanent tissue. What is permanent tissue is? When we go on the permanent tissue, the newly formed cell from primary and secondary meristem, which becomes structurally and functionally specialized and lose the ability to divide, are permanent tissue. So permanent tissue, there are, as we have discussed about the meristematic tissue, So meristematic tissues are those tissues who have a capability to divide, that is cell division will seen over here. But in permanent tissue, we found there is no cell division. That is, cell division is absent in permanent tissue. So in permanent tissue, it is basically no cell division. You can see no cell division. That is, the tissue will remain same as it was when get matured. That is, when a tissue is formed, this tissue get growth, and when it get growth, it attain its structure and remain in same position. Now he can never further divide into two cells, or he cannot ever produce its copy. So these are not being found in the permanent tissue. So basically all the structure which has been seen in the plant, it is all because of that permanent tissue. So all the primary and secondary meristems, that is the meristematic tissues, when get matured, they converted itself into a permanent tissue. So the origin of the permanent tissue, we can say that it is basically from the meristematic tissue, because as no new cell is being formed, so when a cell is following the cell cycle and reaches and it makes a copy, some cell leave the cell cycle and attain the structural position, that is G0 phase, while the other cell continue this cycle to form a new cell, and this cycle is been divided into different parts, that is G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase and M phase. So these are we call a cell cycle. So if a cell is continuing in this cycle, that cells are basically belongs to meristematic tissue, while those cells after multiplication leave this cell cycle and joins the structure or the function of the plant, then that cell is basically a permanent tissue and it never comes back except parenchyma cell. This means that those cells who attain in the G0 phase is become a permanent cell. That is, no cell will return back from G0 except parenchyma cell. So what we want to say that permanent tissues does not have a power of division. Permanent tissues are being divided into two parts. One is simple permanent tissue, another is compound permanent tissue. So let's first rub all the things what we have done over here. So what is basically a simple permanent tissue is? There are three types of simple: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. The most important thing about simple permanent tissue is a group of cells. That is, this is the cell, this is another cell, this is another cell, and this is also a cell. So this is what we call a group of cells. Now look at this. So all these cells together is called a tissue. Now if all such cells are structurally same or functionally same, that is all the cells are structurally and functionally same, structurally and functionally similar, such tissue are basically considered as simple permanent tissue. Okay. So if all the cells are similar, then it is called a simple permanent tissue. While if the group of cells, that is a group of cell like this, and this is another cell, and this is another cell, and here is another cell, and look at this group of cell are basically of different size and different shape. So if the group of cells are of different size and shape, such type of group of cells are called compound permanent tissue. Okay. The parenchyma cells are basically function for a storage, that is it is a temporary storage part of the plant. It is always a temporary storage, that is no permanent storage could be seen, temporary storage, and it is always be a living cell. While collenchyma gives support to the plant, that is whatever the support you will found, like the attachment of the leaf. If we look on the stem, now this is a stem and this is a leaf, and if we go on this is we call a petiole. This petiole is attached with the branch of this tree. So this attachment is because of the support. So the tissue which is supporting, attach this leaf with the branch, these tissues are basically a collenchyma. Okay. Now we go on the sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are basically a dead, that is it is been rising from the sclerotes and fibers. Compound permanent tissues are of two types. One is xylem, another is phloem. Xylem conducts water from root to aerial part of the plant. Aerial part, that is every part of the plant is receiving a water is from root is through xylem only. And another is the phloem, which is delivering a food to a plant. Okay. So it is from leaf to other part of the plant. Okay. So this is the function of the compound tissue. Xylem is considering as a xylem vessel, xylem trachea, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. Phloem belongs to sieve tubes, sieve cells, companion cell, phloem parenchyma. So now we go to discuss in detail about the simple permanent tissue. Now, what is basically a simple permanent tissue is made up of only one type of cell. If all the cells are of same type, such group of cell is called simple permanent tissue. The most important thing in between that, the major component within the organs is isodiametric, spherical, oval, round, polygonal, elongated in shape. That is, if we go on the simple permanent tissue, the parenchyma tissue cells are the group of parenchyma cell or parenchyma tissue are basically all the cell are isodiametric. That is, if suppose they are oval in shape, let's suppose they are oval in shape. If we cut it from the center, look, both the sides are of similar. Now if this oval shape is being cut from here, this side and this side is similar. Now if we take suppose the structure of hexagonal, okay, this is hexagonal. If we cut this from here, you found that both the structures are similar. If we cut this structure from here, this side and this sides are similar. So that means if we cut the cell from any plane of mirror, then both the sides are of same in shape. Such type are called a isodiametric, or are basically a simple parenchyma cell. So parenchyma cell are basically those which are similar in shape when we cut horizontally or vertically from any side. The another important thing is that in between the parenchyma there is always a intercellular spaces. This is a very important thing. They contain intercellular spaces. These intercellular spaces differentiate parenchyma from other two types of cell, that is collenchyma or sclerenchyma. They contain a thin cell wall made up of cellulose. That is, as we have seen that in meristematic tissue, suppose this is a cell of meristematic tissue. I am writing over here meristematic tissue. Okay, this cell contain a very thin layer, very thin single layer of cell wall. Okay, this is a single layer of cell wall, single layer of cell wall. Why this is a single layer? Because these cells are dividing cells. That why they require a cell division, for which their cell wall must be thin and only single layer. This single layer of cell wall is basically known as primary cell wall. What we call it, a primary cell wall. Okay, but in the case of parenchyma cell, if we go on the parenchyma cell, let's suppose I am drawing over here parenchyma cell. Parenchyma. This is a cell of parenchyma. Let's suppose this is a parenchyma cell. Around it there are two thin layer of cell. Okay, the first layer is called, the outermost is called a primary cell wall. This is called a primary cell wall, and after that it is called a secondary cell wall. This is called secondary cell wall. Okay, in between these there is a layer, fill layer. This is filled with a biomolecule. This biomolecule is basically a cellulose. This basically a cellulose. The cellulose is basically a oligosaccharides, or we can say it is a group or one of the type of the carbohydrates. So this cellulose helps keeping the cell alive, that is living cells. These cells are basically living cells. How it has been living cell? Because there is an exchange of gases and water molecule exchange of gases and water molecule, because these cellulose function as semi-permeable membrane. They are function as semi-permeable membrane. That is why they make this cell living cell. So they contain a two layer, that is a primary cell wall and a secondary wall, because there is no cell division is seen. Only few are showing some division, while the rest is not showing. They are mostly found in the leaves. That is, these parenchyma cells are found in the leaves, and if they contain if parenchyma contain chlorophyll, contain chlorophyll, then it is known as chlorenchyma. Then it is known as chlorenchyma. So those parenchyma which contain chlorophyll are known as chlorenchyma, and it helps to perform the process of photosynthesis. While if this parenchyma contain air, so if parenchyma contain air, that is, this cell is this, and this cell is containing a two layer. Okay, one is called a primary cell wall, another is called a secondary cell wall. In between that there is only a gases is being filled in between. These gases give this plant buoyancy, that is buoyancy, which means make them to float, This type of is known as parenchyma. We call it a parenchyma. So if a parenchyma containing chlorophyll, it is called chlorenchyma. Don't get confused with cholenchyma and chlorenchyma. Chlorine spelling is chlorenchyma, and cholenchyma is different. Okay, so chlorenchyma are those which contain chlorophyll. So parenchyma plus chlorophyll give rise to chlorenchyma, and if parenchyma plus gases, then it is known as parenchyma. This parenchyma is only seen in the aquatic plant. Remember, aquatic plant. So all those plants which are found in ocean, rivers, sea, lakes, these all are containing parenchyma, and due to parenchyma they maintain their buoyancy, by which they float on the water. Clear? These are the most important thing, and the most important function of the parenchyma is it helps to perform the process of photosynthesis. As we discussed, it contains photosynthesis, is present in between the upper epidermis and lower epidermis of leaf. Where it is found, suppose this is a leaf, structure of leaf. Here it is upper epidermis. You can see that this is the upper epidermis. Okay, and here it is a lower epidermis. So in between these upper epidermis, the parenchyma cells are present, and these parenchyma cells contain a chlorophyll, so we call it a chlorenchyma. So it helps in the performing the process of photosynthesis. Another, it functions as a temporary storage. It functions as temporary storage. Temporary storage meant for a certain time. For a certain time, they store something, but after that they release. That is the best way to understand, is that they are present in leaf. Leaf perform the process of photosynthesis. By photosynthesis, they produce food. these food are stored for some time in the leaves only, and after that, after some time, these food are be transported from leaves to the other part. So for some time, these food which are stored in the leaves are actually stored in the parenchyma cell. Okay, it also functions for in the secretions also. It helps in to secrete some enzymes which are chemicals which helps in the process of photosynthesis. Now we move on the next, that is collenchyma. Remember one thing, parenchyma is a living cell. Collenchyma. Collenchyma is occurs in the layer below the epidermis, either in homogeneous layer or in patches. Thicken at the corner due to pectin or cellulose, and oval, spherical and polygonal. Assimilate foods when chloroplast is present. Intercellular spaces are absent and functions like a mechanical support. So what is actually a collenchyma is? There is nothing too much difference between collenchyma and parenchyma. There is a few difference. One is this: when we look on the structure of collenchyma, let's at the structure. Look, there is some intercellular spaces are present. These are the intercellular spaces. If these intercellular spaces are filled with pectin, like this, suppose this is one of the collenchyma cell. Here it is. Now you find this is another cell. This is a cell, a oval shaped cell. Okay. Now I change the color. Now look at this. Here it is a intercellular spaces. You found the intercellular spaces over here. There is a intercellular spaces. There is also. If these intercellular spaces continue present, then it is called a parenchyma. But if these intercellular spaces are filled with pectin, these are pectins are filled. Okay, so pectins are filled in between, which keeps there is no intercellular space, make them attached pactly with each other. So pectins are been filling over here. Look this. The yellow one is a pectin which is been filling in between. So this intercellular spaces is filled with pectin. These pectin keeps the end of the intercellular spaces by which this intercellular is filled with the pectins, and by which there is no intercellular spaces present. That is why these are called a collenchyma. Okay, one more important thing is that it has these pectin has to give a mechanical support. How it is giving a mechanical support? By this, suppose this is a plant and here it is a branch of a plant, and at this branch this leaves is being attached. Okay, look at this. This is a leaf. Okay, now this leaf is attached with the petioles, this is called a petiole. This petiole is attached with the branch. Here is a collenchyma is found. Because the collenchyma contains pectin, this pectin helps in attaching this leaf with the branches and also make it flexible. That's why they are flowing to and fro. When we look at the leaves, they always been flowing to and fro, and this to and fro is all because of the attachment with the branches, and this attachment fix this leaf with the plant and make it flexible. This is the most important function of the Collenchyma. Collenchyma cells are always found due to where there is an attachment between the plants, like a flower is attached. Here also you found a collenchyma. If fruit is attached, suppose this is a fruit, then it is also here is present a collenchyma. So these are also a living cell. These are also a living cell, but they never divide. But no division is seen. We found that is cell division is absent. Cell division is absent. Okay. It assimilates food when chlorophyll is present. So there is a assimilations of food. If there is a chloroplast, then there is always a assimilations of food. And remember, intercellular spaces are always been absent. It gives a mechanical supports, and all the corners are filled with bacteria. This is all because of collenchyma. The next is the sclerenchyma. What is basically sclerenchyma? It is a long, narrow cells, lignified walls with pit. These cells are basically long, or you can say are cylindrical in shape, like this, and always be found in the bunches or in a group form. They are basically a dead cell. Sclerenchyma are basically a spherical, dead, narrow cavity. So what is the basic? They are basically a dead cell. Now let's understand how it is in dead cell. Suppose this is a cell of sclerenchyma. Here it is a presence of cell wall. Now look at this. This is the primary cell wall, or you can say this is the secondary cell wall. So this is primary cell wall. Here it is secondary cell wall. So in between this primary and secondary, I am changing the color so that it could be visible to you all. In between this primary and secondary, there is a lignified. Lignin is present. What is present? Lignin. This is filled with lignin. So blue color is actually a lignin is here. So the cell is filled with lignin. So let's write it. It is a lignin. This lignin makes this cell. This lignin makes the cell impermeable. That is, when this cell attain the maturity, this cell become impermeable due to the presence of lignin. What is the function of impermeable? Impermeable is there is no exchange of water and gases. That is, whatever present inside never comes out, and whatever present outside never goes in. That is, nothing is permitted to go inside and nothing is permitted to comes out. So the cavity which is present in between remains as it is, because there is no exchange, and finally these cells attain the position of dead cells. So when these sclerenchyma cells are small, they when become mature, that is, their size becomes large, they get all this primary and secondary cell wall. The lignin is get filled in between them, which makes them impermeable. Due to this cell becomes dead cell. It is mostly found in the fruits. If you eat a guava, a pear, you found a fibers like material over there. That is actually a sclerenchyma. Or the most is important in the coconut burst. If we go on the coconut, we found a jute material. That is jute material is basically a sclerenchyma, and they are a dead cells. So they basically dead cell because of the presence of lignin, and due to the presence of lignin or the formation of lignin in them is called as lignified. So sometimes they ask a question, why the sclerenchyma are considered as a dead cell? That is because of the presence of lignin around the cell, in between the cell walls, that is the primary cell wall and secondary cell wall, which keeps the cell impermeable, that is not allowing any gas or a water molecule inside, or not allowing any gas or water molecule to go outside, by which the cell becomes dead. But this sclerenchyma cell only become dead when it get mature. Remember one thing, when it get mature, then only it get. In the initial stages, when there is a growth is seen, that time it is always been growing, and so we can say that initially when the sclerenchyma cell is formed, at that time this cell is living cell, but when it get matured, it becomes dead cell. Okay. So the most important thing, it gives support, mechanical support to the plant, especially the fruits, by which the fruit attain its structure and also keep all its essential element within itself. That is, suppose a guava is containing a vitamins and some minerals, it does not lose its minerals because the lignin is around the guava, as there is a sclerenchyma cell. Suppose this is a fruit. Okay, it contains several type of minerals and vitamins. These cell wall are basically filled with a lignin. These lignin make it impermeable, by which all these elements does not lost. So it keeps the food material and also keep the give the mechanical support to this structure. So these are the three types of collenchyma, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma of simple permanent tissue. Okay. Now we move on the next type, that is